Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. So today I'm going to be playing Microsoft flights, and we're going to be doing a flight from Louisville, Kentucky to LaGuardia in New York. Okay, that's good. So we're going to be using the Fly-By-Wire A32NX mod. It's a mod to improve and revamp the default A320neo. I'm going to be using my own little checklist here for it that I wrote down. And we're going to be Delta 5796, so okay, Delta 5796. Now I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I don't really know how I want to do these in general. This was a slight issue I had on that FSX video. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Arrival. Altitude Airways. 17 right. God. Better. Well, I'll do it. And altitude. I feel like that's pretty far north considering everything. Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, Corey Fours. I mean, that could also work. So, I think I'm gonna do MIP. The MIP 4. Okay, so we're gonna be taking off 17 right out of Louisville on the Fedra 5 departure. Fly the 617 nautical mile journey, and then coming on the MIP 4 approach, arrival to the ILS 22. One hour and 25 minutes. Set our cruising altitude. I could do 39,000, but I think I'm gonna go less than that. I'm trying to remember what the FAA procedure is for planes flying east. I can't remember if it's east even, west odd, or if it's the other way around. So you know what? I'm just gonna look it up. I don't know why. It's such a simple thing to remember. Okay. I'll pass eastbound at odd flight level. So we'll do 37,000 feet. So about an hour, 25 minutes. We're going to be doing live weather and time. I do want to have air traffic enabled. However, it has issues. Issues that I've noted with AI traffic being enabled, whether it be AI or live, is that ATC gets confused and overloaded, I guess. And I mainly proved this because I was doing flights from LA to Phoenix, and I noticed that when I had AI traffic enabled, that the ATC, now it's not just this, but this is the main one. Going from LA to Phoenix with AI traffic enabled, I noticed that ATC would typically give me instructions late, specifically descend instructions. And with AI traffic disabled, it would give me descend instructions at correct times. And not just, it'd be nice. It was, it was distances that were actually good to descend at. And it wasn't just this, I noticed it. I've noticed it on flights, really every single flight I've ever done with AI traffic enabled. And it really sucks because it gets really boring up in the air without having any radio chatter and not seeing any other planes in the sky. But I'm going with functionality over quality right now. So until they get that fixed, I could use VATSIM, but I'm good. And I do kind of want to turn on the multiplayer. I've done a couple flights with it. I don't know if this was a multiplayer issue or not, but I noticed I was doing a flight from Phoenix to San Francisco, and the lag got so horrid. And I don't just mean like, oh, it got down to like 20 to 30 FPS. It was jumping between 5 and 20 FPS. Never went above 25. And which is bad because, on the ground at busy airports, I usually do 30 FPS. But once I'm up in the air, I usually do about 40 FPS. At the very least, 30. So I don't know if this was... Now, granted, I did start the flight early in the day, and I had to pause mid-flight, and I was away for multiple hours, at least 5 hours. So I don't know if this was more so of a issue with the multiplayer, which it might not have been, or if this was an issue with the fact that the game was paused mid-flight for hours, because I ended up turning off multiplayer, and then I ended up turning off online data entirely. So photogrammetry, Bing data, live weather, time, everything, and I was still like that. So, maybe it wasn't. So, because of that, I'm actually going to turn... Wrong button. I'm actually going to turn on multiplayer here. Now, speaking of all this, I'm currently running on a mix of medium settings with the windshield effects for like rain and stuff, set to ultra. That's really it. I do have photogrammetry on with Bing data. All online functionalities are on. So my initial thought for my first FS 2020 flight for YouTube would be to go from LAX to SFO, because I did that on FSX, and I thought, maybe it'd be cool to see the major difference, but also at the same time, I don't want to do two very similar, almost identical flights in a row. So also real quickly before I start this, just because it's, new flight sim, I want to go over a couple of things of the game itself. So if in your aircraft selection menu, you've got a total of hold up, no. It's less than this in the standard edition. I have some modded aircraft in. But in terms of turboprops, this is the default things. A Cessna 208 Grand Caravan, a Beechcraft King Air 350, and a Daher TBM 930. All of these have a G1000. In fact, most of the planes in this have glass cockpits. In the jet section, that comes with a Cessna Citation CJ4. This Bombardier CRJ700, it's a freeware modded. It's a modded freeware aircraft that I got. In the marketplace, you can actually buy a CRJ700 from Aerosoft for about $50 US. However, I watched a video of it a couple hours ago. It's how do I put this? How do I put this without sounding too harsh? It's sensitive in terms of if you do something that it doesn't like, it doesn't get too happy. If we go over here to the propeller plane, we got some nice planes. We got this little pit special, this little biplane, this X-Cub, this some rather modern looking planes, like actual fancier looking aircraft. Got this little extra 330. This Icon A5, it's the only aquatic airplane in the game. We got a couple more things. The Beechcraft Bonanza G36 now, the Savage Cub, and these two. So it defaults, the standard edition of Flight Sim 2020 comes with a Cessna 152 and a Cessna 172 with G1000. The Cessna 152, it has standard steam gauges. Unfortunately, the Cessna 172 does not, unless you buy the deluxe or the premium deluxe, which I believe the deluxe costs 80 or 90 US dollars, and the premium deluxe costs $120. If we go to the airliner side, the game comes initially with an Airbus A320neo and this Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental. This right here, the one that I'm going to be using, it's free. It's a free A320neo by Fly-By-Wire Simulations. But it actually works a lot better than the default A320, and it's a lot more detailed. It's a fantastic dev team on it. I've started using it mainly, and it's a fantastic aircraft. This is free. These two planes right here, the Airbus A321 and the Airbus A330, they're modded aircraft. They're free, but they're modded. You can find these from the Project Mega Pack. I don't really know where you can actually find them, but I found them. I found them actually through a livery. They had a set of liveries out for FS 2020. Hundreds of liveries. I don't really know where to find them anymore. But yeah, on their Discord, I noticed the link for this, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I downloaded them. Haven't tried them out yet. Haven't tried out the A321 simply because of FSX. And I haven't tried out the A330 because from what I've heard, it's a little messed up. But it is a work in progress freeware aircraft, so that's to be expected. They are, however, working on a very detailed version, not version, but freeware aircraft of the Boeing 737-8, which I personally thought was very cool. I don't know when it's coming out. They don't know when it's coming out, but I'm excited for it. If you buy the premium deluxe edition of this sim, you do also get a Boeing 787-1 Dreamliner, which is also, again, pretty cool. Of course, you also got a bunch of liveries here. You can download these just from the web. You just pop them into your community folder, and boom. As you can see, for this A32, this A32NX mod, I've got, Delta, JetBlue, British Airways, EasyJet, FedEx, American, United, Spirit. I think this came with the mod. This is also another EasyJet livery. This KLM livery, this Fly-By-Wire Simulations, and the Southwest Airlines. One thing I will note is in terms of cargo liveries, like this FedEx, I don't know if this applies to the A320 NX, the A32NX mod, but for the default A320, you can't get rid of the windows. On the 747, you can, but you can't on the A320, which I don't really like. Anyways, I've been recording for like 14 minutes, so I apologize. So without further ado, I'm gonna skip through this freaking loading screen because it's painfully long. So yeah, let's get into this flight. Alright, and here we are. It's gonna be a little laggy at first as we load in. But yeah, let's just pop in. So like I said earlier, I wrote down a checklist for this. Mainly because if we take a look at the in-game checklist, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's also more stuff than I thought there was. But we're not gonna be using that. But if we quickly take a look around the cockpit, oh my god. Earlier I was playing FSX, just to to play it again. I haven't played it since I started playing FS 2020. And in FSX, you know, you hold down space and then move your mouse around. Forgot that you press space to move your camera up and down, which is odd because while I was playing FSX, I kept on trying to right click. So yeah, just looking around, of course, you got all this on the overhead. You actually got a lot you can press it, like all this. You can actually deploy the oxygen masks. You got all this. You can, a lot of it's inoperative, but again, a lot of it wouldn't even have functionality in general. But then, of course, a lot of it is actually functional. Yeah. So yeah. Dang it, I keep on doing it. So yeah, of course, we got all of this. If we actually look, this is a customizable thing. So when you make libraries, you can change that to be what you want. If we actually look over here, this coffee cup, and click on it, it's interactable. We have this little fly pad, which is also interactable. This window, sadly, cannot open yet, but you can soon, from what I hear. So this is all interactable, of course. You got your audio settings and your plane settings. However, I've never been able to get these to work. I mean, everything is set to what I want it to be, other than because I'm more used to the imperial pounds. And I'm not too sure because I'm not a real pilot, but I'm pretty sure that planes in the US are most of the time in pounds. It doesn't really do much. It's just a little miscellaneous thing. We got this for you know, anything on ground. So we're already gonna send stuff. So like this catering truck, the jetway, and the external power. This is actually for company. It's your username on SimBrief. If you use that, I've done it before, but I've noticed that in-game ATC breaks with it. So I'm keeping to the default flight planner. You can get an overview of your plane. Like it's max passengers, it's maximum takeoff weight, it's max fuel capacity, it's max cargo, it's zero fuel weight, stuff like that. Well, like it's max zero fuel weight, maybe. It's range, it's engines, it's yeah. This, I think this, if you use SimBrief to import a flight plan, this shows up. You can also see your fuel. Now, you can actually refuel your plane through this. So, like, if I want to refuel to if I wanted to refuel to full, I would just slide that up, and I would click start. Now, you can have it real time, so it would take 11 minutes to fuel it up to full, fast, or instant. I don't really find myself ever using this, so just gonna try my best to move this dial. Alright, I'll take it. In this here, so with this, of course, if you imported from SimBrief, you know, if you wanted to, you would go to company, put it in your SimBrief username, come back here, click on this, and it would import your flight plan into this. And it would show, you know, your where you're departing from, where you're arriving into. It would show like the temperature, the something, can't remember the name, wind speeds, crap like that. And yeah, so let's begin my checklist. Yeah, I'm not gonna read through it, but I am gonna go through it. Just give it a couple seconds. So I I don't know. There's a couple things here that I'm not too sure because I got this checklist from the from the internet, from the great world of online, and I just wrote it down. It took me like an hour. It's 6 full pages long. So things like this hydraulic yellow pump, according to the online checklist that had a solid 5 stars from 3,000 people, this is meant to stay on, and I don't know how much I believe that. If there's anything here that I don't do correctly, well, that's unfortunate. But so far, the plane has worked fine, so it'll be fine. Any people who actually fly the A320 want to beat me with the broomstick and explain to me the actual proper way to fly this plane, please do so. Now again, with the MCDU again, I don't know how much of this is actually true, what I'm meant to be doing, what I should not mess with, what's already set, what's good to go. I'm just doing what I always do. I'm just doing what has managed to get me from A to B with 0 issues. So again, if any real A320neo pilot watch this, please tell me, what am I messing up on? So, okay. Now, we're going to be landing in LaGuardia. I do have some ILS frequencies written down, but not too many. I don't think I have LGA written. Yeah, I don't. Okay, well. Okay, Google, here I come. Okay, so KLGA ILS. So fun fact, if you want to find ILS frequencies for airports, all you have to do is look up the airport ICAO and ILS, and boom. I just did that, and we're landing runway 22. So 110.5 and a course of 212. And then as we actually get closer to the because I don't think I can actually put in the identifier. Yeah. But once we get close to the runway, it should pick up. Now, however, so according to this, runway 22 and runway 4 have the same ILS frequency. And last time I landed into LaGuardia, which was only a couple weeks ago in this game, it did not want to pick up to the right runway. So I don't know what it'll do this time. Hopefully it works, and if it don't, well, that might be a problem. But other than that, we should be good. Okay, so obtain our ATC clearance.
Clearance delivery Delta 57906 to LaGuardia, ready to copy. Delta 57906 is cleared to LaGuardia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 right, climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.07 squawk 5424. Delta 57906 cleared to LaGuardia Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 right, climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Departure on 132.07 squawk 5424. Delta 57906 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi.
So I'm actually, for this autopilot, for everything autopilot related, I'm actually using my Honeycomb Bravo. Because finally, Microsoft managed to fix all the issues related to the Bravo, so it now works. Well, for the most part. In terms of actual buttons, as far as I know, it might just be A320 specific. I don't know. They don't seem to work too well. Yet again, the A320's autopilot and most of the autopilot switches and buttons in every plane in this game is rather different from the Honeycomb Bravo. For those of you who don't know, on the Honeycomb Bravo buttons, you just have heading, nav, approach, reverse, alt, vertical speed, and indicated airspeed, and of course your autopilot master. Now, autopilot master, I think works. I just can't engage the autopilot. But you know, in terms of this, you know, it doesn't have VNav, LNav, flight change mode, and in terms of this plane specifically, you know, where you have managed mode and selected mode, I don't really know how well it works. But yeah. Anyways, 1217. Also, I'm not gonna be doing much of the radio communications. I'm just gonna be leaving that up to the AI. Simply because it can get real old scrolling through that real fast. Flight director on. I'm actually gonna run that chronometer. Okay. We're also just gonna send that baggage now. Normally, I set a pushback time for myself. I don't know if I'll do that this time, because currently it's 12:01 p.m. for me, and I was thinking maybe pushing back at 12:05. Don't know if I want to be sitting here, though, considering I'm recording. Though, people can skip ahead. People can do that. So I might just sit here till 12:05. Oh my god, there's actually a dude. Now, I don't know how loud this is. Actually, I'm gonna check. Alright. And what about that? Alright, I'm gonna assume it's good. Now, for the sake of legality purposes, I'm not a real pilot. I do not in any way, shape, or form mimic the actions of Delta pilots. I do not have any affiliation with Delta Airlines. Anything that happens in this episode does not in any way, it does not in any way, it's not in any way me expressing my feelings towards Delta. If something goes horribly wrong, I'm not saying Delta's horrible. Delta, don't get mad at me. I'm not a pilot. I've made mistakes. This simulator's not perfect. The sim makes mistakes sometimes. So if anything happens, it does not in any way, shape, or form reflect on Delta. I've flown on Delta. I think I've flown on Delta, and it's phenomenal. Well, I can't say phenomenal, because if I did fly on Delta, it's the only airline I flew on. It was either Delta or American, I don't know. But for a first-time flyer, it was good. It's not Emirates first-class suite good, but... Now, I've actually flown this route before. Not this exact route, I don't think. Maybe not. I don't know. Could be. But, I have flown from Louisville to LaGuardia. I don't know if it was the same runway. I don't think it was the same plane, mainly because I actually looked. I've been trying to find out what plane it was. If it was Delta that I flew on, it's very likely that this plane was a Embraer E175. In fact, the flight that we're doing, 5796, is actually flown by an Embraer E175. However, I don't have any Embraer E175. I am following the development of a freeware E175. It's very work in progress. It started work like 3 months ago. They are far from even being close to beta. And this is really the only plane I know how to fly in nice terms. Okay, it's 12:05. We're gonna switch on that seatbelt sign. Okay. On. Okay. Beacon light. Okay, so tug. So, okay. Now, I don't know for sure if on the real Airbus A320, if you would actually switch this anti-skid off. I know I read some dude on the checklist that actually copied this from saying, oh, but you wouldn't do that. But I don't know, I've done it. I mean, other than the fact that if you look at this, it's max brake pressure, which I'm pretty sure would mean that our brakes are kind of grinding against each other, just being forced to move. And if anything, we're probably just shredding our... What type of brakes do planes use? I've never actually took into consideration what a plane would actually, like, what brakes a plane would use. Like, if it would use, like, you know, your conventional brakes that you find on most cars, or a similar system to that, or not. Kind of interested to know now. Might be one of those things I look up in cruise. Actually kind of interested, intrigued, actually not interested, but intrigued that there was actually a few people near this area. You good? You're still starting. Alright. I screwed up my checklist. Not by much, but by enough. Oh, I just hit my mic. I'm sorry. Do a flight control check. Okay. Alright. Alright. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's not an issue with the plane, it's an issue with my joystick. I'm gonna turn these on. I always turn them on anyways. Uh, is there any way I can get rid of that glare? Nope, I'm just unlucky. Alright. Alright. Just do that.
Stand deferred airport information uniform 1600 Zulu. Wind 265 at 8. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,200 feet, few clouds at 12,300 feet. Temperature 29er, dew point 10. Altimeter 29.94. ILS runway 17 left and ILS runway 17 right in use. Landing and departing runway 17 left and runway 17 right. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have uniform.
Ground Delta 57906 with Victor ready to taxi IFR.
Delta 57906 taxi to and hold short of runway 17 right using taxiway Golf Echo Alpha. Contact tower on 124.2 when ready.
I can barely make out, but I see a 5.
Taxi to and hold short runway 17 right via taxiway Golf Echo Alpha Delta 57906.
Okay, so that should be the correct number. Should be. Are you already set to taxi? Yes, you are. And, yeah, okay. Did I really spring break? So I know okay, I tried not using the taxi line. I first tried that in Detroit, I think it was. It was Detroit or Chicago, one of the two. I can never seem to get the two correct. It was in one of the two, but I think it was Detroit. And the game bugged out or something. I couldn't acknowledge the taxi instructions, so I didn't have a line. So what I ended up doing, I just turned off the line. I opened up, I pulled up on my phone a little chart, and I got to where I needed to go, but I couldn't find the gate, the correct gate number for the life of me, which was unfortunate. I ended up I was able to acknowledge the taxi instructions, and it led me to the gate. And it was the one I was right next to, but I couldn't tell for the life of me. Not only did it not say what the gate numbers were on the chart, but also did not say the gate numbers in the sim, which made it very difficult to find the gate number. However, I did fly into here. Actually, it was this airport I flew into here, and I was using charts from my phone, you know, like actual charts. And they just didn't exist. The taxiways they wanted me to follow just did not exist. In fact, you know, I was even following it. I was following the little taxi ribbon. My God. Someone needs to go out and paint that. I was following the taxi ribbon. I was looking at the charts. They were not matching. They were not matching.
Louisville Tower Delta 57906 at runway 17 right ready for departure IFR to LaGuardia.
To LaGuardia.
Delta 57906 altimeter 29.94 wind 265 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 17 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17 right Delta 57906.
Alright, so we're gonna switch off that, because if I just switch, for some reason on my Honeycomb Bravo, there's only two. I have all these light switches set, but the only ones that work are the landing lights and the strobe lights. None of the other switches work for lights. I don't know why. I don't think it's this plane specific. I might be because the probes, the window heat, the little probes. On the default A320 they work fine. The probes work fine. They worked with the assigned switch, but on this they don't. I have to click it manually. I don't know what it is, but it's annoying. Okay.
Three hundred. 300. 300. 300.
Delta 57906, contact Louisville departure on 132.07.
132.07 Delta 57906. Louisville departure Delta 57906 is at 1,400 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Delta 57906, Louisville departure altimeter 29.94, continue to package as planned.
Once we at least get above 10,000, I'll go over more of this. More of the features of the god. Oh, let me take a drink. I'll go over more features of the aircraft. Of this, well, maybe not the aircraft, considering we've done most of it, and I have very limited knowledge on the A320. Being that I've never stepped foot in the cockpit of one. I have been on an A320. I did confirm that. I have actually been on an A320 aircraft, but I've never been in the cockpit. But also because I'm not a pilot. I wonder if this dude's a pilot. Or if this dude's a pilot. Or if anyone else in this server is a pilot. Also, because I'm on live weather and time, I also have photogrammetry and Bing data turned on. So essentially, the weather, right, this is exactly what it would look like in Louisville. And honestly, it's probably like 90 to 100 degrees. But also, this is pretty accurate. I mean, I've never really seen Louisville from the sky. I mean, like, yeah, I flew out of there once. However, it was a very, very gloomy day. See, this is something that it does sometimes. And I don't know why. It'll occasionally just drift off course. Now, I don't know if that's an issue with the aircraft or if it's an issue with my joystick. Which it might be an issue with my joystick. And I say that because I fix it. So you saw how this little green line was off towards this? It means we had to go that way, right? But the plane was going into a left bank. What I did just then to fix it was I just moved my joystick just slightly to the right. Just to get us slightly starting to bank right. And then I put it back into neutral. And then it corrected itself. So I don't think it's actually an issue with the plane, especially since it's only been doing it recently, and both Flight Sim nor the mod have updated since then. But I think it's an issue with my joystick, which it might be. Yeah, it's not an old joystick, but, well, it is an old joystick. It's a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. So it is an old joystick, but I've only had it for, let's see, I got it in October of 2020. So, in June, so I've only had it for like 8 months. However, Logitech, these joysticks are known to have issues. But I got it because it was the only one within my budget.
Delta 579er, 6 contact Indianapolis Center on 121.175.
121.175 Delta 579er 6. Indianapolis Center Delta 579er 6 is passing 7,700 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
Delta 579er 6 Indianapolis Center altimeter 29.901 continues afraid as planned. Delta 579er 6 climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb and maintain flight level 230 Delta 579er 6.
Hope I don't get copyright claim for that. I was humming Sabaton. Alright, well, we're above 10,000, so I think let's go off. Also, I'm on my phone. I'm not really paying attention. Oh man, that doesn't really look good on my part.
Delta Flight 7906, contact Indianapolis Center on 126.375.
126.375 Delta 57906. Indianapolis Center Delta 57906 is passing 15,600 feet, climbing flight level 230.
Delta 57906, Indianapolis Center altimeter 29.905, continue to ship as planned.
Paying attention to that time. So, I have to admit, this is actually a big step up, because essentially, most of the stuff that you were seeing with this is from the default aircraft. So, like, this MCDU, it's for the most part the same. I mean, it's there. So, like, all of this is there, all of this is there. All of this, I think all of this is there at least. This menu works. The flight plan, you can input your own flight plans through this menu. That all works. This menu works. I don't have any of this filled out, but I'm pretty sure this works. And you can also use this. Now, fun fact about a couple of things here. If we take a look at here, so we can type in an airport. So like LaGuardia, so KLGA. Type in there ICAO. Put it here. We can actually see how far away we are. So right now we are 525 nautical miles away from LaGuardia. Now it says here that you can see the wind, but it's never worked for me. Another thing, if you click on this MCDU menu, now this is only the A32NX. So, but if we click on this MCDU menu, and if we go to ATSU, we go to AOC menu. If we click on this WX request or weather request, you can of course go with our type, so like METAR or a TAF or METAR. If we click on LGA here, okay, well, if we click send, it'll get queued, and so now we just wait until it shows, till something here shows up. So why are we doing this again? Oh, because we're banking into another waypoint. That's why. Not because not because the plane hates me. But yeah, company message. So once we get that, click on MCDU menu, click on ATSU, click on AOC menu, and messages received. We click on this, and we get the weather information. And if any, we can also print it through the in-game printer. So if we click on print, it actually starts printing through the printer here. And I find that very cool. Now you can also, people can also send you messages through this if you allow them. If you allow people from on like VATSIM or anyone who really, I guess, knows your username, can why? Okay. I don't get you. Okay, so that's... I really should add some dead zones to this. I mean, this is my rudder. That's how big of a dead zone. So this is what it's meant to be at. This is it being neutral. And this is me moving it a millimeter. This is all left. This is all right. And this is elevator. The L-axis Y. The only thing that would be affecting it is the L-axis X. But from the looks of it, it's also fine. I don't know why. There's really no reason. I don't know why it does it. I don't like it. But also, so once it's printed, we can put it here. Now, this would all be very important if if I knew how to read it. Because I don't know how to read it. I don't know how to read it at all. I'm not even going to attempt.
Delta 57906 climb and maintain flight level 310.
Just realized we are
Climb and
long
maintain
past
flight level
18.
310 Delta 57906.
We are long past 18,000. So. I'm real focused on my phone for this, and I don't know why. You'd think, considering this is going on YouTube, I'd be a lot more focused on, well, this than I would my phone, but, you know, here we are. I think it's just because I know that nothing will really happen. Unless the plane decides, hey, can I go this way instead? Which I still don't like. But I can't do much about it until I get a new joystick, I guess. Which I do plan on getting a new one. I do want to get a honeycomb alpha yoke. And that wouldn't be such a big problem if they weren't so expensive. So for reference, the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant cost me $250, and it took it like 3 months, I believe, 3 months to arrive from Hong Kong to the US. The Honeycomb Alpha, again, also costs $250. And I was looking on the Flight Sim subreddit. And there were people there saying like, "Oh, hey, I put in an order for the Honeycomb Alpha. It's been 6 months and I'm still on back order and I don't even have an ETE." And that's I hear that and I think no.
Delta 579er, 6 contact Indianapolis
Has
Center
6
on 124.225.
months? God.
124.225 Delta 57906.
Now look, it's a great
Indianapolis Center Delta
unit.
57906 is passing flight level
But
280,
6
climbing
months?
flight level 310.
Nobody in their right mind
Delta 579er, 6 Indianapolis Center, continue to Yankee
would
Romeo,
wait
Kilo
6 months for that. That's why. Okay. So I'm gonna just go over, not over really, but just look at a couple few things. So this cockpit door. So we have this button, we have this little switch to unlock and lock it, and this button. So if we unlock the door, this pops up. Now the door you can't open. So even though it says open right here, you'd think, clicking that, oh, a door opens. No. In fact, I don't think this door will ever be able to open. I don't think Fly-By-Wire really wants to model in an interior. But, although, we do have this. So, that's pretty interesting. Now, I actually believe that that's actually modeled, because if we went to FreeCam, we could actually take a look at that. I've done it before. However, I don't want to open up FreeCam when we're going 270 knots almost.
Delta 57906 climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb and maintain flight level 370 Delta 57906.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start going over just a couple things to pass the time. So of course, the ATC menu. We have this little camera menu with actually a couple cool things. So in the cockpit, of course, we have, you know, our pilot view, but we can also be in our co-pilot seat. Personally, I don't like it. I guess I'm just so used to sitting in this seat that it's just, it feels, okay, it just feels foreign to me, I guess. Like, it feels so odd being in this seat. But we also have, you know, we can take a look at our instruments, quick view, stuff like that. But a main thing, main thing is this. We can actually sit in like a interior view. See the engines. We can sit right here, right next to the engines. We can actually sit here behind the wings. We can take a look at like the flaps and the speed brakes, which I'm not gonna do. We can also see the wing flex, which I think is very cool. When I was flying all 3 times, I believe I was sat like almost practically right in this spot. I'm not positive, but I believe like right here, because I was behind the wings. But yeah. Let me just go back to the cockpit. God, that's so loud. If it's loud for me, it's probably just as loud for everyone else. Eek. And now that's a danger. So busy focusing in the other views that don't even realize that you just went from 270 to 240. Anyways, we got, of course, the checklist. Now, this is for every plane. Of course, it's different for every plane, but for the most part, this. And basic controls, this just goes... I don't get it, really. I don't. And AI control, so... In terms of this, we have checklist assist. It's never worked for me. Manage radio comms. It's made some very stupid decisions sometimes for me. And control aircraft. I've never used it because autopilot. And if I'm flying GA, well, I'm flying GA. I'm the pilot. I'm the one flying. But from what I've heard, the AI the AI control is yeah, they might as well be squawking 7.5 and be, the pilot might as well be a terrorist, because from what I've heard, control aircraft for the AI, it's like giving a toddler a shotgun. It doesn't end well. From what I've heard, whenever anyone has ever turned on this AI feature, the plane has essentially just exploded. Because the AI is so dumb that they think they think the core of the Earth is cruise altitude. Take that how you will. We got our fuel.
Delta 579er, 6 contact Indian
So yeah, we can change our fuel load mid-flight. Don't recommend.
127 decimal.
Oh, we got
one
our
for
nav
Delta
log. This is really
5796.
only helpful
Indianapolis
when
Center
you're
Delta 5796 flight level
that's really only
370.
helpful when you are flying VFR for
Delta
VFR navigation.
5796 Indianapolis Center, continue to Yankee Romeo Kilo as planned.
Objectives. I've only ever found these really useful in the tutorials, or I guess in bush trips, or in really any of the activities pages. Oh, we got this travel to, which essentially allows us to travel to different sections of flight. I'm not gonna use that. Every time I've used that, it's caused me some issues. VFR map. So this is mainly used for VFR flying again, but you know, you can see some cool stuff. It gives you a pretty nice view of the world. I mean, if we just try and find Europe, am I looking at Spain? Yeah, I'm looking at Spain. So up here is France, and then here's the UK, and here's Ireland. Alright. My God. Why do you look so much bigger than the US? Spain itself looked like it was the size of North America. Because I go over here back to the US. That's Canada. I go over back here to the US, take a look at the Great Lakes, scroll down a couple times, boom, sing the Atlantic. Like, let's go to our most southern point, right here. Now let's just scroll up. Boom, border. It's like Spain is the size of the East Coast, which, you know what? I don't want to believe that's true because, dang. But, yeah. And we got this. Weather and time, we can select between live weather, just a whole bunch of stuff. Storm, snow, rain, overcast, high level clouds. And we can also customize it if we wanted. I've seen people do some scary things with that. Some very scary, very terrifying things. I really don't know what else to go over that I understand and also doesn't seem self-explanatory. I don't know. Just take a sip of our Delta Airlines coffee. I do want to go and take some external looks at the plane just to give some nice shots. However, I don't want to go deaf and I don't want to make anyone deaf. So I think we're good. And so I guess for this final $422-mile flight, it's just gonna be silence. Because I'm gonna sit here for this entire time. I have done flights that exceed 5 hours. I've done them in one sittings. It's drained my living essence. But I'll do it. This is only like an hour 20.
Delta 57906, contact Indianapolis Center on 124.45.
124.45 for Delta 57906. Indianapolis Center Delta 57906, flight level 370.
Delta 57906, Indianapolis Center, continue to nibble as planned. Delta 57906, contact Indianapolis Center on 125.55.
125.55 for Delta 57906. Indianapolis Center Delta 57906, flight level 370.
Delta 57906, Indianapolis Center.
I want
Continue
to
to
look up.
nibble as
What
planned.
are you again? No, okay. I just want to look up. Do I turn that off? Because, you know, don't break anything, but if I take a look at this checklist here, can I try my best? Yeah, this. Check for overhead white lights extinguished. Now, what it means by that is essentially, so like when this crew supply was off, this oxygen supply here, that's technically a white light. We extinguished those, so we just, boom, no more white. And we'd essentially do that to any button here that had white. That's also one of the reasons, I think that's one of the reasons at the very least, as to why, like, the fuel pumps, they are white when they're off. This electric hydraulic pump here is a white light. So, by just brain, we would turn that off. However, I want to look through this and Google, sorry, hit my mic, to see if I would turn that off. Before start, non-interactive. Really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? This seems pretty interactive, if you ask me. You know what? That checklist doesn't even say to turn it on in the first place. Which makes me think, no, I don't turn it on. You know what? I'm gonna just look at the checklist that I copied this from. And I'll go from there. God, why is it so cold in this room? I'm actually gonna take my temperature. I've been sick the past couple of days. Wonder if the fever's coming back. Alright, well that answers my question. No. Unless my normal body temperature is like 90. Which I don't think it is. I would really appreciate if you didn't randomly bank like that. It'd be pretty nice if you didn't.
Delta 579er, 6 contact Cleveland Center on 120.4.
120.4 Delta 579er 6. Cleveland Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er 6 Cleveland Center, continue as planned.
Game, I'm gonna put my faith in you. Man, this is like the only flight simulator that I actually trust to leave my room. Leave the sim to its own devices. Now, it's scary because everything I've noticed with this plane randomly going into banks, they want to come back and see me in a spiral. But I do welcome that. I do welcome the fact that I can willingly put the game on auto, put the plane in autopilot, let the co-pilot handle radio, and me just walk on my room, go do something, come back a couple minutes later, and it'd be fine. No other simulator that I've played, even though the only other flight sim I've ever played is FSX. The only reason I didn't trust it with FSX is because there was no co-pilot to handle radio. If I didn't listen to radio, flight plan got canceled. However, how far away are we? Alright, so for like this remaining 300 miles, I'm just gonna mute my mic, put on my Bluetooth headphones, and listen to some music. And I'll come back when we begin our descent. So, good. Oh, wait, real quick though. Where was that cell? Probably about that. Alright, I believe it. I'm gonna keep this at 320 miles just so I know. When it hits about 160, I'll come back.
Delta 579er, 6
Yeah.
contact Cleveland Center on 126.905.
Going to 126.905 Delta 579er6. Cleveland Center Delta 579er6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 Cleveland Center, continue as planned. Delta 579er, 6 contact Cleveland Center on 128.45.
128.45 Delta 579er6. Cleveland Center Delta 579er6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 Cleveland Center, continue as planned. Delta 579er, 6 contact Cleveland Center on 121.2.
121.2 for Delta 579er 6. Cleveland Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 Cleveland Center, continue to Papa Sierra Bravo as planned. Delta 579er, 6 contact New York Center on 134.8.
134.8 Delta 579er 6. New York Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 New York Center, continue to Papa Sierra Bravo as planned. Delta 579er, 6 contact Cleveland Center on 124.325.
Going to 124.325 Delta 579er 6. Cleveland Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 Cleveland Center, continue to Mike India, Papa as planned. Delta 579er, 6 contact Cleveland Center on 126.725.
126.725 for Delta 579er 6. Cleveland Center Delta 57906 flight level 370.
Delta 57906 Cleveland Center, continue to Mike India Papa as planned. Delta 57906, contact Cleveland Center on 124.325.
124.325 for Delta 57906. Cleveland Center Delta 57906 flight level 370.
Delta 57906 Cleveland Center, continue to Mike India, Papa as planned. Delta 57906, contact New York Center on 134.8.
134.8 for Delta 57906. New York Center Delta 57906 flight level 370.
Delta 57906 New York Center, continue to Mike India, Papa as planned. 579er, 6 contact New York Center on 124.9er.
124.9er Delta 579er 6. New York Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 New York Center, continue to Mike India, Papa is planned.
And I'm back in the realm of the fly. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and slow us down here to 250 for descent. Now, sadly, this plane has a little issue called it gets stuck in Mach until you descend past a certain speed. Altitude. It's unfortunate. Because as I descend, I have to keep on lowering my speed instead of just having it set to go a certain speed. I don't like it. I hate it. But I can't do anything about it. We are closing in on 120 miles from the runway. In fact, I'll just, I'll use this. An exact number. 144 miles. Of course, there's a little bit more added on to that because of our flight plan. However, I usually slow down at about 120, a little bit after. Because ATC usually gives us our descent instruction anywhere from about 100 to 120 miles. And I want to be going about 250 on our descent. Cosmic Sniper. Kind of wish I could have a setting to where I could see what their destination is, if there is one. But also, you see how this dude has A20N? I'm pretty sure that stands for A320neo. Not every plane has the actual plane type and number. Altitude, sorry. In fact, they're the only. Is that dude's name Wife Cheater? Hold on. I can't. This is. Please. Wife cheated. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate, sir.
123.625 Delta 579er 6. New York Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 New York Center, continue to Mike India, Papa is planned.
Yo. Suddenly pressed a button on my joystick. So, I'm actually, because I can't read that MEDAR data at all, I'm gonna just look at the weather in New York by my phone. So it's currently 68 degrees Fahrenheit in New York. Winds are about 10 miles an hour. It's very cloudy. And it's meant to storm from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m. My God, New York. Was it like 15 hours of storm? Yeah, hey.
Delta 579er, 6 contact New York Center on 132.5.
132.5 for
I don't
Delta
think that's right.
579er 6. New York Center Delta 579er 6 flight level 370.
Delta 579er, 6 New York Center, continue to
See,
MAR
like, why does it do that?
planned.
I don't know if that's, like, me, like Pilot Air, an issue with Microsoft Flight Sim, an issue with the plane, an issue with the flight plan. I don't know. An issue with my joystick. I don't know, but I absolutely hate it. And I don't know how to fix it. Like, permanently. Oof. The weather radar's starting to pick up some rain. You know what? Hey, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen rain in Flight Sim, so if I get rain, I'll actually I'll enjoy it because it'll give me a Excuse to use the wipers. Also, it's meant to rain tomorrow, Saturday, Tuesday, next week. 2 days in a row. I feel bad for New York. You know, this is like the exact same weather that I had when I flew into New York. Alright, ATC now, like right now, would be a nice time to descend.
Delta 579
Thank you.
and maintain flight level 310.
Descend and maintain flight level 310 Delta 579
Man, it's a miracle this plane is flying. Jesus. Alright, maybe it's because we got like a 75 knot crosswind here. Also, wow. This is the most amount of people I've ever seen in a single area. We got a dude here, 3 dudes here, 1, 2, 3, 4 dudes here, 1, 2, 3 dudes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 dudes right over here. It's like 12. Oh my God. Don't wait. Is that like JFK? Is that? Oh my God, I'm gonna have a nightmare. See what I mean? No matter what I press, it's gonna stay in Mach until we descend past a certain altitude, and as we descend, our speed hold will rise. It was at 260 until I did this. There's no way I know of fixing it until I think it's about 26,000 feet. And it'll just automatically switch back to knots. I don't know if I can do anything about it. I really wish I could. I sadly don't think I can.
Going to 124.625 Delta 579
So we'll just
New York Center Delta 579 is
lower
in flight level
speed
340,
until
descending flight level 310.
we're good.
Delta 579 New York Center continue to
Oh, by the way, I didn't find anything out about this. So. Alright. The amount of people over here scares me. Because last time I flew in multiplayer, and actually landed in multiplayer, I was doing touch and goes at San Francisco, and this dude in an A320 just went onto the runway. Caused me to do a go-around, because I wanted to keep a sense of realism. Now, I don't really want to do a go-around procedure. I will if I must, but not ideal.
Descend and maintain flight level 190 Delta 579
Hey. But sense of realism purposes, I would if I needed to. Alright, Because I do want to keep these at least, you know, somewhat realistic. Well, it's realistic as, you know, someone who's not a pilot can do. But, heck, for all I know, I don't know how hot these, like, I get, like, this is, like, the middle, you know, between the cold and the hot. I get this is hot. But how hot? I wish I could, like, see how hot the cabin is, you know? Oh, okay, so it's like 26. Hey Siri. 26 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, for a plane, actually. Being in a plane cabin, that might be a little uncomfortable. Is that dude's name our bagel plane? Okay, I can make out like 2 A320s at negative 87 feet. I don't know how y'all are 100 feet below sea level, unless y'all like smashed, you know, through the ocean. Y'all try and recreate the miracle on the Hudson in the Atlantic and screwed up majorly. How are you 87 feet below sea level? Me having to lower this frickin' speed hold is gonna get annoying very fast. I think it's like 20. I think last time it auto switched was at like 26,800. Let's see. All right. Please. Please. Thank you. Alright, I no longer have to worry about that. Now, we're gonna use our speed brakes here to slow ourselves down to 250. Man, New York does not look too fantastic right now. It's just covered with cloud. Man, his name really is our bagel plane. And I think our bagel plane, I think our little bagel plane here is in an A320. Okay, why are you at negative 87? Why is this dude at 85? How are you two right next to each other at completely opposite altitudes? Just forgiving the fact that you are literally below sea level, how are you two right next to one another and you being at negative 86 feet and him being at 84 feet? How? Unless that doesn't take into consideration their actual altitude instead of taking into consideration like what what is displayed for them because of like their altimeter here. Barometric. That was the name. That was the name I forgot an hour ago. Let's see. Oof. That's some that's some cloud. Well, I mean, precipitation. That's some weather. Alright, so we are going to be needing to use our wipers. to make sure one last time. Radio nav 1105, 212. Performance for the approach phase. I'm not gonna bother putting in the temp. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually affect anything.
Delta 57906, contact New York Center on 133.15.
133.15 Delta 57906. New York Center Delta 57906 is passing flight level 205, descending flight level 190.
By the way, that sound, I think, is the engine spoiling up.
Delta 579er.
Oh, because I'm putting down speed brake. I don't know. That might just be because we have speed brake. Ow. You see if I retract the speed brake. Completely quiet. The engine stayed the same. I deploy it. Engines, they're going down. I hear that, so.
118.975 Delta 57906. New York Center Delta 57906 is passing flight level 195, descending flight level 190.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch on that seatbelt sign. Simply
Delta
because
579er, 6 New York Center.
rain.
Continue to trim as planned.
Yeah, can I get a decent instruction?
Delta 579er, 6 descent and maintain 11,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet Delta 57906.
Oh. How is there a 10-foot difference between you two right next to each other? And again, how are you both in the negative? Also, please tell me these guys are a JFK and not LGA. So they're LGA, that I'm gonna have a fun time. Cause something tells me, you know, our bagel plane, maybe Raptor, aren't too big on the realism department. Simply because, I mean, I could be wrong because it's their Xbox, their Microsoft name. Mine's Jack the Dragon Killer. Doesn't seem very aviation-like. So I could be entirely wrong. Because there was a dude who seemed to resemble some bit of realism, actually stopping, holding short of the runway and actually, you know, requesting takeoff permission. His name was Pimp Daddy, but so who knows? But that's an unfortunate name to have displayed on your flight sim profile, Pimp Daddy. It's unfortunate. I'm playing with a thermometer. I'm just flicking it in and out of the freaking holder. What's wrong with me? Far away am I? Alright. Hold up. So the weather app on iOS, I don't know if Samsung does the same, it actually displays the pressure, the air pressure. And it's 2986. Let's see how accurate it is. It's dead on. Alright. That is a cheat sheet. When you want to be realistic, but also don't have to worry about FAA rules like no being on phone. Now, putting down the spoilers, I don't think is the most fuel efficient thing. Who cares about fuel efficiency? This is flight simulator. If airlines so worried about fuel efficiency, because they don't want to waste fuel. Because it is expensive. Why not just go to Arabia, take lamp, rub it, wish for jet fuel, and then boom, you have fuel for your big jet. It is simple solution. Why do no use? About to punch into that cloud. Gonna go ahead and switch on those landing lights. I'm gonna slow us down to 230. I'm gonna ease up on the speed brake. Oh, my game froze. Alright. It's back.
Delta 579er 6 descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, Delta 579er 6.
Delta 579er 6 contact New York approach on 132.7.
I'm gonna turn off AI radio. I just realized when I have my hand on my mouse, my forearm is resting on my joystick. Maybe that's part of the reason why I have so many problems, because I'm slowly and subconsciously moving the frickin' plane.
Delta 579er 6 New York approach altimeter 29.84. Continue to proud as planned.
Surprised I haven't gotten a keep speed below blue. Alright, okay. We're about to punch into the cloud, man.
Delta 579er 6, you are 13 miles southwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors.
But you told me to descend to 3,000. I'm descending to 3,000 anyways because I'm not, I repeat, not going to do an approach. Oh, you're just going straight to it, aren't you? You're not, you don't give a crap about anything else on here, do you? Yeah, no, you do not. Well, that's not ideal. Because that means it's meant to go like this, do a swoop around here, and then follow it in like this, but the plane's gonna go like this, and then it's gonna do a big circle, come back. Honestly, I might just do this, which will be even worse. I don't know. Well, that is not in the slightest way ideal. No? I don't exactly have a say in this, to be honest. Alright, well, that really shortens my time to exist here. ILS runway 4. See? What? Can somebody tell me what that beeping means? Also, I'm gonna go ahead and slow us down to 180. Come on, you can descend. This is not in any way what I wanted it. Okay. Did you just randomly decide? I don't like landing in LaGuardia. What are you doing? You know, I watched a video earlier about this Eva Air flight in the ATC. The ATC just kept on. They were trying to get this Eva Air from a Canada Air, but they just kept on telling the Eva Air to just turn back and forth, left, right, left, right, left, right, not doing anything to actually get them separated. It's like she wanted the plane to go around the Eva Air. I mean, the Canada Air. Instead of just, you know, turning direction until the Canada Air is out of their way and then turning. She was like, she was trying to get them very close but around each other. I don't know. She just kept on telling them to turn left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I don't know how I should feel about this plane right now. However, I really... Oh, hey, rain. As much as I hate this, I do have to be right back. I really hate that, but I do have to be right back. As annoying as that is. Alright. I am very sorry about that. Well, shit, we're back here. Okay, what are we? Flaps 1, right? Flaps 1, 180 knots. Ooh, speed brakes are still. Okay, alright, well. We're joining back up, I guess. Let's see, I just want to take a look at this just one last time so I can get a better depiction. Cause this checklist, okay, so we're 7 miles. This checklist, it also includes, like, you know, distances for when we should put down some flaps, distances and speed. I don't really want to do a too long approach. I don't know how far we'll be once we turn back around onto Yaman. However, I will. Well, I'll speed us up to 200 knots, but I'll keep us flaps 1. Man. Gotta admit though, the visibility was was a lot better when I came into New York. A lot better. Now, after this, I think I'm going to be doing a flight down to Miami because it was a layover. It was from Louisville to New York as a layover, and then we went down to Miami. So I think I'm going to do that just because I've done that in FSX where I went from Louisville to New York, New York to Miami, Miami to Louisville, and that like diamond. I haven't done it in FS 2020. I think I'm going to do that. Although we're entering a clearing here. However, I have a feeling that's going to change once we come back around. Which we are coming back around. We are on approach phase. Yep. Alright. The Yanks of 1969. Got Raptor, Scrims. Graphic Rhino, Pilot Apollo, Super Justin, and the Buzz, the Shrimp, Gordo Hockey, JT69JT. Oh, their name is Dr. Shrimp. Not the Shrimp. How did I even get that confused? We'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. So we're gonna set our auto brake to how long is the runway at LaGuardia? It's not something you want to hear your pilot saying. We are not in Louisville anymore. In fact, we're far from Louisville. There we go. We are very far from Louisville, actually. Okay, then I don't feel like finding it. We have like 600 miles from Louisville. There's a freaking fly in here. He's getting on my nerves. Although there's a lot of bugs in this house. I don't know if the last owners didn't spray down good or something. I mean, they did. Pretty much anything that comes in dies, but I'm assuming, I think there might just be, I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of dead bugs because I'm assuming the last owners sprayed it, but again, there's also a lot of live bugs. I mean, it's mainly just spiders and centipedes, and honestly, the spiders I get because you know that whole meme of, you know, when Area 51 meme was a thing, you would like, oh, they can't shoot us all. I think that it applies to bug spraying those spiders because if you look outside, there are thousands of spiders. And I honestly think they have a mentality that if they just charge past the bug spray line fast enough, with enough numbers, that they'll be fine. I think that's true. And I think they actually believe that. And I think it's working for them. Because there's no other way they could possibly get in. But I've still seen at least a dozen. Same with centipedes. There are not thousands, but there are quite a few outside. And I've seen at least a dozen inside. But again, I do live in a basement, so it's not like it's that difficult. Can't really spray underground.
Delta 796, you are 15 miles northeast of LaGuardia. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact tower on 118.7.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 118.7 Delta 57906.
Okay.
Tower Delta 57906 14 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 22 approach.
Delta 57906 tower. Altimeter 29.86, wind 164.15. Cleared ILS, runway 22 approach.
Cleared ILS runway 22 approach Delta 57906.
Okay. I can't see. Alright. Here we go. Flaps 3. Landing gear down. So we're gonna go out of brake medium. Because I believe the runway is long enough to fit us. However, conditions, I feel more comfortable on medium. Besides, it's not like in this simulator it has any real consequences, which... We're gonna go flaps full. Look at us. That's a plane. That's no runway. 7.5 miles out. We'll get
2,500.
I really like how there's actual GPWS callouts. That's actually helped me a lot in my landings because in FSX I have to judge, I have to guesstimate how far I am off the runway. And like in a GA aircraft, that's not that difficult because you're low to the ground. But in something like this, it's a lot more difficult to judge. So I didn't really know when. Besides, I also had to judge on my own when to retard the throttle and when to flare. It was difficult. And it all. Oh, my sister's calling.
Delta 579er, 6 wind 184 at 17. Cleared to land runway 22.
Oh, clear to land, runaway 22. It's the
Clear to
worst
land,
of
runway
times, though.
22, Delta
I gotta
579er,
be right back, and I can't exactly. Autopilot can do many things. It can land the plane, but it can't stop it. Be right back. It's one thing. Okay, anyways, back to this. Oh, man. Okay. 5 miles. Clear to land, runway. Haha! Got this. Finally got that fly. Something that gives you a big sense of powers when you strike a fly out the air. So when we landed in LaGuardia, I was sitting on the left side of the plane. I don't
1,000.
recognize this. It was more skyscrapers, like Brooklyn or Manhattan or Jersey, whichever freaking one it was. I don't know New York geography too well. Is that a giant toll bridge? Toll booth? Go! Oh, they did the Verrazano Narrows Bridge dirty. Oh, they did the Narrows dirty, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. They did you dirty, man. Which it was more like skyscrapers, which makes me think.
500.
And then we were landing. I think it was this runway. This one. I don't know what the number is, but anyways, here we are. 400 feet. Now, no one call me or text me for like 2 minutes. Please.
300. 200.
Eek.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
I think I bounced. Alright, no. Burst is engaged, so no. Did not bounce. Alright, even with this, you know what? They might not even simulate runway conditions. Alright, well. It defeats the whole purpose of an auto brake feature.
Delta 579er, 6 turn next taxiway.
Alright.
Delta 579er, 6 contact ground on 127.675.
Okay, landing blades.
127.675 for Delta 579er 6.
7.675? Request taxi gates.
Ground Delta 57906 request taxi to the gate.
Here's retract.
Delta
Retract.
57906 taxi to gate
Repeat
25
off.
using
2
taxiway
pass.
Charlie Yankee Alpha Alpha
Stand
Foxtrot
by.
cross runway 4 Echo Alpha.
APU master on. 1, 2, 3. APU start.
Taxi into
Radar.
gate 25 using taxiway
Off.
Charlie Yankee Alpha Alpha Foxtrot cross
Brake
runway 4
temperatures.
Echo Alpha
check.
Delta 57906.
Now I don't know the limits for these. I don't know when it's dangerous. I feel like if they were red, they would be dangerous. I think orange would be like, keep an eye on them. We're just gonna. Alright. Alright. Let's taxi, ladies and gents. That was, an interesting landing. Most every landing I've ever. Whoa. Alright, sir. Where did you come from? Why are you pulling to the right? Alright. You know what? You always pull to one direction or the other. Raised ferret. Volcan X. Still see Dr. Shrimp 69 in the background, and I'm following behind this Airbus A320neo Raptor 4785. Alright, so I don't recommend ever stopping on the active runway. Alright, you're pushing pretty fast for an A320. Can't say I've never done it either. But that I've only ever done it on long sections of taxiway, definitely not that. I wonder if my Delta livery is showing up for him. It's pretty cool. He spawned at like the GA ramp because he's taxiing to the gate, and I know for a fact he didn't land. But that's actually pretty cool. 2 A320neos taxiing to the gate right behind one another. Eek! Alright. Alright, parking brakes set, seatbelt signs off, APU bleed on. We're gonna switch off the anti-ice, and engine master 1 and 2 off. And come on, give it to me. Give it. He's not gonna give it to me. Is he? What? This is the first time in my life that shutting down the engines does not give me. What is this? What is this? Yeah, that's like the one lights. What is this? Oh, he's gone. This is the first time in my life that shutting down the engines does not give me the flight complete menu. Like, what is this? Tyranny, man. What is this tyranny? This is just tyranny. Like, does this flight even count still? Does it even put in the flight hours? Because, you know, I would really like if it did. Let's just put all the autopilot settings back in their neutral state. So you go 10,000. you go 0. Let's go down here. Init. Clear. Cost index. Clear. Cruise level. Let's go here. And now I don't think I can clear any of these. Yep. We can, however, clear that. And this. And again, I can't clear most of this. I don't know why, but the game does not allow you to clear most of this. It makes no sense. Clear this. Clear this. And that's really all I can clear. Oh yeah, package. Brake fans, brakes, I mean, are no longer hot, so we can just send in the baggage cart. Turn off the brake fans, I mean. That. There's a slight fuel imbalance, but that is okay. And yep, we've touched down. We are here at the gate. In LaGuardia. Vulcan X13. Vulcan 6. When the cargo door closes, we'll say everyone's off. And then we'll, shut down the plane. Also, now that we're on the ground, we can turn off that. Why is my dog barking? I mean, like, my sister's outside. Getting a package. But yet again, this is the dog that will bark. Because I opened my door. Did those engines just now shut off? Anyways, that's closed now, so. Compact 1, 2. Get the pump off. AP bleed off. AP master off. Let's switch off those. AP master off. I'm gonna switch off these. Switch off that. And we're gonna switch off the APU generator. 1 and 2. I don't like how it doesn't say flight complete. You know? This is, in fact, a flight complete. It's not gonna track it. It's not gonna. Why am I looking through any of this? Nothing in that is gonna help me. All right, this is unfortunate. This is very, very unfortunate. Oh, validate. Maybe. Nope, that won't do, because by validate it just means like if my mouse, if like this was hovering over that and I clicked enter, Never mind, I don't know what the hell it does. Well, I'm just call it here because I don't know what the heck to do. But that is a flight complete. Despite the fact that it still sounds like the APU is on, which it should not be. Oh, but it is. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why. It's don't I don't know why it's still on. Because it really should not be. The battery's off. Oh. There it goes. APU's off now. Alright. And that is a full flight from Louisville's KSDF International Airport to New York's LGA International Airport as Delta. What was the flight number? As Delta 5796 in a plane that is not the true plane. and done in like what, 2.5 hours? Yeah, I don't know how I managed to take a 1 hour and 25-minute flight and managed to put it into a 2 hour and 40 minutes. But yeah, I did it. So I'm just editing here before it gets any longer because I gotta not edit, but I gotta upload this and then do another flight from Louisville, no, from LGA to MIA. So yeah.